Here we go with 10 more epic eponyms. When someone's name, either of an historical person or a mythical or fictional person, is used to describe an object or an idea or an activity, that is an eponym. What I try to do here at Wize to the Words is to show that so many common, everyday, humdrum words have very interesting origins and stories, and this is especially true of eponyms, because eponym is all about a person, and a person has a history, a biography, a life, and these words have a life of their own. An eponym is about a person who's left such a mark, whether famously or infamously, that their name becomes embedded into everyday language. Well, here's another 10 more random eponyms that will come at you fast at Mach speed. Mach, by the way, is also an eponym, named after the physicist Ernst Mach. So let's get wise to the words. Jacuzzi. When you think of jacuzzi, you probably think of bubbles and relaxation and luxury. But it all started with a family trying to solve a health problem. The Jacuzzi family, Italian immigrants known for engineering airplane propellers and agricultural pumps, shifted gears in the 1940s when Candido Jacuzzi invented a hydrotherapy pump to ease his son's arthritis pain. This portable pump turned any bathtub into a soothing jet-powered spa. Jacuzzi. Guillotine or guillotine. When we hear the word guillotine, we probably think its history was based entirely on cruelty, but the story of this infamous device actually goes back to an unusual goal: compassion. It goes back to Joseph Guillotine, a French physician who proposed a more humane method of execution during the French Revolution, hoping to make the process quicker and less painful than previous methods. Although Dr. Guillotine didn't invent the device itself, his advocacy did lead to its widespread adoption, and it quickly became a symbol of that period's swift justice, quote unquote. Over time, the guillotine became one of the world's most recognized words for capital punishment. Capital, by the way, means head, caput. Off with their heads. Groggy. Ever felt groggy in the morning? Well, you might be channeling a bit of 18th century naval history.
Well, he'll be a little groggy this evening.
The term groggy comes from Old Grog, a nickname given to the British Admiral Edward Vernon, who was known for his grogram cloak he wore at sea. A coarse, water-resistant fabric made of silk, often combined with mohair and wool, and stiffened with gum. Admiral Vernon made a lasting mark when he'd ordered his sailors' rum to be diluted with water in order to reduce drunkenness aboard his ships. Sailors, naturally unhappy with this watered-down garbage, called this mixture grog, and feeling drowsy and muddled after drinking it became known as feeling groggy. Today, groggy is a word that we use for that foggy, sluggish feeling we feel, especially in the mornings. But hopefully, it's not from all the alcohol we're drinking early in the morning. Hoover. Ever hoovered your carpet? You might not realize it, but you're invoking the legacy of William Hoover, who popularized the vacuum cleaner in the early 20th century. Although the vacuum was invented by James Spangler, it was Hoover, a leather goods manufacturer, who saw its potential and bought the patent, transforming it into a household staple. Soon, Hoover became synonymous with vacuuming itself, especially in the UK, where to hoover is still widely used to mean cleaning with a vacuum. Bob's your uncle. Have you ever heard someone say, Bob's your uncle, to mean, that's it, it's finished? This quirky British phrase has an unexpected origin in 19th century politics. It's thought to come from the British Prime Minister Robert Cecil, or Bob Cecil, who appointed his inexperienced nephew to a very important political position in 1887. Critics saw this as blatant nepotism, implying that when you have Bob as your uncle, success or favor is guaranteed. Over time, Bob's your uncle became a lighthearted way of saying everything is easily in place. There you have it, Bob's your uncle. Cardigan. Ever wonder why we call that cozy button sweater a cardigan? The name comes from James Brudenell, the 7th Earl of Cardigan, a British army officer famous for leading the charge of the Light Brigade during the Crimean War. Soldiers wore knitted wool jackets to keep warm in the cold, and these garments soon became associated with the Earl of Cardigan. Now, the cardigan is a fashion staple, named after an unexpected military hero. Now I just have to play the famous line from Dumb and Dumber.
Huh? Pull over! No, it's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing. Yeah! Killer boots, man!
Sandwich. Ever wonder why we call it sandwich? The story goes back to John Montagu, the 4th Earl of Sandwich, who in the 18th century requested his meat to be served between 2 pieces of bread so he can continue eating while he was gambling. This simple idea caught on quickly, and soon everyone was ordering the same as sandwich. Make it a sandwich. Today, a sandwich is a go-to meal around the world, all inspired by one man's love of eating and gambling.
You're one sandwich away from fat.
The Earl of Sandwich and Sir Francis Bacon had it.
What would you say you do here?
What do I do here? Well, with Wize to the Words, I just try to explain interesting word origins and etymologies of common English words and expressions. I would really like to keep this job, so if you could like this video maybe and maybe share it with a friend. Share it with one friend that you think would enjoy this video, so they can be wise to the words too. Chesterfield. Ever wonder why a certain kind of sofa is called a Chesterfield? In fact, growing up, that's what we called our couch, a Chesterfield. It was normal. Now it's kind of weird. Now, a Chesterfield technically is not just any kind of couch, but it was mainly a leather sofa with rolled arms that looked like this. It is said to be named after Philip Stanhope, the 4th Earl of Chesterfield, an 18th century British nobleman known for his sophisticated taste. Legend has it that he commissioned a piece of furniture to be created that allowed him to sit upright in a refined position so that he wouldn't wrinkle his clothes, leading to the creation of the now classic Chesterfield-type sofa. Teddy bear. Did you know that the beloved teddy bear owes its origin to a US president? In 1902, President Theodore Teddy Roosevelt famously refused to shoot a bear that had been tied up for him during a hunting trip because it was unsportsmanlike. Inspired by the story, a toy maker created a stuffed bear and named it Teddy's Bear. And soon this cuddly toy became a worldwide sensation, forever linking Roosevelt's nickname to a cuddly stuffed animal. Chauvinism. Did you know that chauvinism originally described a soldier's extreme patriotism? Well, it did. The term comes from Nicolas Chauvin, a possibly fictional or mythical French soldier known for his extreme, almost fanatical loyalty to Napoleon. And over time, chauvinism evolved to describe any exaggerated loyalty or prejudice, particularly with the sense of superiority. I'm better than you. And by the 20th century, male chauvinism emerged as a term for the attitude that men are superior to women. And by the 20th century, the term male chauvinism emerged as the attitude that promotes the superiority of men over women. A male chauvinist pig, as they say.
You're a classic male chauvinist pig.
Now you're wise to the words. Be on the lookout for more videos on epic eponyms.
Making moves, trying to get away.